How much money can you make working on a cruise ship? Well, a lot. But even if you're not the captain, it still might surprise you. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to my life. My name is Josh Chilton, and for 6 months, I worked as an in-house photographer aboard a Norwegian cruise ship. Today, we're talking everything money. How much I made, how much I spent, and what you should expect if you follow in my path. So get comfortable and take notes. This is Deep Dive. Money will vary wildly depending on your position, ethnicity, and flag of employment. I worked as a photographer, which is a mid-level position for NCL, and everything in this video can only reflect my own experience, so your results may vary. However, whether you are thinking about applying, just curious, or polishing your resume for a life at sea, this video should give you a clear look at the good, the bad, and the slightly depressing part of cruise ship pay. Let's start with the basics. Everyone in the cruise industry is paid a monthly salary for the duration of their contract, no matter where in the world you're from. You will get paid a standard wage in USD, which is deposited into a ship bank account. More on that later. Starting salaries can range anywhere from $500 a month to $5,000. But expect to be on the lower end of that number. My wage was $1,000 a month when I started, and went up slightly after a mid-contract promotion. This means that at the very minimum, I would be earning $6,000 over the course of my 6-month contract. To simplify payment, NCL uses a service called Brightwell. They act as an open border bank, allowing you to deposit, withdraw cash directly, send money home or to any financial institution of your choice, and directly spend money on board through cruise-specific stores and amenities. Brightwell's entire business is built around making global transactions as seamless as domestic ones, and I've never heard any complaints about people not being able to get money home, no matter where in the world they're from. It just takes a little while to get used to it. On my ship, you can also take out a cash advance of as much as $500 if you're looking to make a big purchase in port or on board, though it does come out of your next paycheck, of course. Depending on who you work for, wages can be paid bi-weekly or monthly and can be sent independent of commissions. Speaking of, let's talk about the fun stuff. Commissions. For those of you unfamiliar with the term, a commission is a payment incentive a company provides to encourage performance from their staff. It's a bit like a tip, but rather than a customer rewarding for good service, it's a company giving their employees a kickback for making them money. As a concept, commissions are good. They provide extra incentive to employees and reward top performers for their excellent work. In the influencer industry, a commission allows content creators to make some income off of product reviews and referrals, which helps the economy overall. Speaking of, this video is sponsored by no one. Sorry, I couldn't resist. The point is, the system is not inherently bad and can work in your favor, but it's inconsistent, competitive, and heavily team dependent. To simplify for the cruise industry, if you're in a role like sales, retail, spa, art, photography, food and beverage, and even the medical staff, your salary is only part of your income. The rest of it, commissions. What this feels like practically is some months you'll hit these goals and see a big boost in your paycheck. Other months you'll work just as hard and make peanuts in comparison. Working on board the Joy, it feels like every month you're working extra hard just to make this arbitrary target. The company assigns the team a weekly, or more specifically, a per cruise target, a kind of sales quota, which, if met, would mean as much as twice your salary in commissions. The target is basically a big math equation that considers many aspects of the specific cruise to make it fair and attainable. For my department, it was broken into categories: merchandise, photo packages, and specialty photos. This means the team must consistently sell or monetize all of the services we provide to a very high degree of proficiency to make the target. If we undersold in any week in any category, the team commission was cut down significantly. Our weekly targets were in the $40,000 to $50,000 range, some cruises reaching as much as $80,000. Think about that. $50,000 a week selling photos and merchandise. The consolation is a bigger target means a bigger commission, so it's not all terrible. I'm telling you this as each of those previously mentioned departments function the same way. Yes, even the doctors run on commission. Some teams like the Park West Art Gallery are almost entirely dependent on commissions to make money. This means that if they don't sell a painting, they don't make any earnings that cruise. Of course, this is only addressing team commission, or hitting your target as a department. You also get individual kickbacks for selling things yourself. If you're in retail and somebody buys an expensive ring from you, commission. If you're in the spa and you sell a fancy hairdryer or some moisturizer, commission. And if you're a photographer and you sell a $3,000 full-frame Sony Alpha A7 IV, commission. Outside of individual sales, there are also bonuses for performance. If you are the highest earning member of your team, as I was on occasion, commission. This is a system that rewards individuals who are really good at their job, but subsequently feels like punishment for those who are underperforming or still learning, which can hurt morale. If you watch my job deep dive video, which explains all the intricacies of being a cruise ship photographer, you'll know that I spent most nights on my contract taking photos and selling those photos to families and couples eating dinner in some of the specialty dining restaurants. Now, when this service was first introduced years ago, I would have made $2 per photo sold each night. That could easily have made me $100 extra a week, probably more. I was really good at my job. But then the commission was reduced to $1, and by the time I got on board, there was no extra commission for dining room photos. And this brings us to the dark side of the cruise industry machine. Those custom dining room photos were originally sold for $50 in a leather frame, then a plastic frame, and now they cost $30 and come in a paper folder. This means the company sells more pictures, makes more money, and pays their staff less. The commissions only go down over time. They're good when the company is testing a new product or service, but then slowly get removed as they refine the system. That $3,000 camera that I mentioned earlier, the commission for selling it was only $20. Same thing works in retail. Sell a $1,000 ring for $5. To make things all the more complicated, different cruise lines have different commission rates. Some pay more fairly, others less so, which makes comparing a bit of a gamble between contracts. Now, this explains most about how much you make, but the short answer is a lot. Most days I work a split shift, meaning a few hours in the morning and a few at night. Add in setup, teardown, team meetings, and miscellaneous nonsense, and you're easily clocking in 10 plus hours a day, 7 days a week. Now, I've beaten this horse to death a dozen times, so I'll get straight to the point. Over the course of about 200 days, I worked 1,695 hours, which actually averages out to a little over 60 hours a week. Meaning on average, I was only working 8 hours a day. Huh. I guess the few 6 and 7 hour days balance out the 10 to 12 hour days. So only 8 hours a day, though I still had many 10 and 12 hour days on my record. It just felt like so much more than 8 hours a day. Anyway, comparing that to my final paycheck, it works out to about $6.50 an hour. Yes, that's right, including my commissions. For non-commissioned positions or anyone with a lower wage, it can be closer to $4 an hour or less. But again, this number is only paid work. My Apple Watch data shows an average of 16 hours a day on my feet, so you only get paid for half the time you're actually up and about. Working split shifts every day is a big part of that. It's much more time efficient to work 8 hours directly and then have 16 hours off, but most cruise positions have you working on and off constantly throughout the day, leading to the sensation that you are always working. You never truly rest. This is why it feels like you're working more than 8 hours, split shifts, and never getting days off. $6 an hour. Let's break that down a little more. So over my 6.5-month contract, I earned a grand total of $11,082.27. Excluding the $6,000 that I earned from my salary, $5,000 was commission. This makes commission nearly half my wage overall, bringing my monthly total earnings to an average of $1,700 a month, give or take. But there is a lot of averaging with these numbers. Some weeks I earned more than $300 in commission, and at my lowest it was hardly $30. Your mileage may vary depending on the team, season, and ship. There's a lot of factors to consider. So here's the kicker. Even though you're technically making lots of money, you're still spending money too. The advantage of working on a cruise ship is you really don't have any expenses. You could go your whole contract without spending a dime, but let's be realistic, everyone spends money on board during their contract, especially during your first contract. It's an industry expectation. These ships are actually designed to encourage you to spend money. It's like working at a restaurant and every night after close, seeing your co-workers buying drinks at the bar you work for. On a cruise ship, when you're not working, your friends are off buying drinks at the bar you work for. Shit, it's still the same goddamn! Whether it's the cheap beer or wine to relax after a hard day, or have a celebration with your friends, buying some chips or chocolate to ease the passage of time, or even just purchasing essential toiletries, there are many ways to spend money with cruise stores. Really, the worst part is, you remember that whole bit about commissions and targets? Crew also count. That's right, our corporate overlords don't care where the money comes from, only that a sale is made. Yes, crew do get discounts on all purchases on the ship, but that's part of the plan. See, after months of selling the same speech to guests, you get really good at selling, and you can sell to crew too. This means that ship staff kind of cannibalize each other, trying to make sales and reach quotas on hard weeks. It's not at all uncommon for the retail staff to run cruise sales in the bowels of the ship during the afternoon. So anyone walking by to get food, take a nap, or just going to and fro work can buy whatever random stuff they have on sale. Perfume and cologne are very popular, and some crew go out of their way to visit the passenger stores to buy these items, which was permitted on my ship. The photo team even ran a few crew sales, mostly selling GoPros, but also picture frames, collectibles, or anything else we could swindle into the pockets of our fellow men at sea. The final nail in the coffin is, after months of giving and hearing the same spiel, oh, it's so cheap. It's the lowest prices you'll ever find. You don't pay any taxes. It's duty-free. Convincing and compelling guest after guest to give you their money, you start to believe it yourself. After all, crew get a discount, which is how I tricked myself into spending $800 on a GoPro Hero 11, then proceeded to use it as a goddamn weapon to sell dozens more. It's such a good deal. Look, I even bought one myself. Here, you can try it out. I made so much money for the company. And that's the hidden bullet in all of this. While your brain is riding the dopamine train, thinking about all the sales you're making, every dime goes back into the pockets of our corporate overlords, who continue to cut amenities and diminish the quality of products while increasing profit margins, all while drip-feeding their workforce a 2% commission. In their infinite generosity, those megaships don't build themselves. I got so wrapped up in the sales system, I could sell GoPros in my sleep. When reviewing this script with my Colombian coworker Carolina, she reminded me that the very first words out of my mouth to her on her first day were, "GoPros on sale now! It's such a great price!" It was just my default reaction to everyone that walked in the store. And if that wasn't bad enough, you can buy stuff on Amazon too! And let me tell you, in total, Despite not having any living expenses, I managed to spend more than $1,200 during my contract, making my average spending on the ship about $200 a month. That's just from my Brightwell bank statement, so not including import purchases or any shopping online. I would say overall in my contract, these are the main things I spent money on. Looking back at it all, there are some clear benefits and problems living on a cruise ship. Some of the biggest benefits working on a cruise ship: you sort of see the world, you'll meet people and make friends from all over the world, all your basic needs are covered, you can save a lot of money if you're disciplined, and you gain some wild stories and life experiences that you'll never forget. But there are also some significant downsides. Long hours, low pay, physically and emotionally exhausting, and it's often a commission-based role, and that can be brutally inconsistent. So, was it worth it? Well, that depends on you. What is your monthly cost of living right now? How much are you actually saving? Can you drop everything to go work on a ship for 4 to 9 months? Do you want to see the world, even if it's for a few hours at a time? For me, working on the cruise ship was definitely worth it. It gave me experiences, perspective, and content for videos like this. But would I do it again? Probably not. Right now, I have other dreams that I'm trying to pursue. But if you're considering working on a cruise ship yourself, next week I'll be uploading my ultimate guide to getting hired on a cruise ship. As a deep dive, it will cover every detail you need to know to get hired on any cruise line anywhere in the world. For now, this has been a complete breakdown of how much money I made during my contract. Hopefully you have further insight into how money works on a cruise ship and what schemes to avoid if you're heading on board for the first time. If you have any questions, drop them in the comments and I'll answer all I can. With all that said, thank you everybody so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, leave a like and share it with a friend if you found the information valuable. If you like the content I'm making, consider subscribing to the channel for more every week. I hope you're finding success in all your own dreams. That's all for now. Until next time, take care. Bye-bye.